Hello and welcome to the letter of the day video. Today's letter is the letter B. B looks like this. There's the uppercase and the lowercase b. Now we're going to decorate the letter B. Before we do though, let me go ahead and show you the sign language for letter B. The sign language for letter B looks like this. So we're just going to open up our hand like this and we're going to put the thumb in the middle. So that's the letter B. We've already learned the letter A. A looks like this. So you want to try A again? A. Now let's try B. B. Pretty soon we're going to know all the letters and we'll sing the ABC song. A, B. So that's as far as we've gotten so far. Okay, now that we know what the letter B looks like and how to do it in sign language, let's decorate the letter B. For today, I'm just going to cover the whole letter with some glue. And you can get these alphabet printables on my website. I'll put the link below, or you could just actually draw one yourself. So I'm going to cover the whole letter B with glue. And then I'm going to just take a paintbrush and just smooth out the glue all the way around. When you decorate the letter, it helps you to remember the shape, and that just helps with letter recognition later. Okay, so I smoothed out the glue, and now I'm going to get my tray because this might get a little messy. So I went outside and I got some sand from outside, and I'm just going to sprinkle the sand onto the letter B. I chose sand to decorate today because we're going to talk about B is for bulldozers, and bulldozers often move sand or dig sand. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to lift this up and let's see if it makes the letter B with sand. Good job. I'm just bumping it off so I can get most of that, the loose dirt off. So that's the letter B. This is what it looks like. And now we're going to try to write the letter B. To write the letter B, you're going to start with a number 1. And then you're going to blow 2 bubbles. Let's see what that looks like. Number 1. And then blow 2 bubbles. 1, 2 bubbles, just like that. So I'm going to show you one more time, and you try it on your paper if you want to. 1. And then blow 2 bubbles. If you don't want to practice on your paper or you don't have paper right now, just skywrite 1 and 2 bubbles. Let's see what that looks like on the handwriting house. And you can get any kind of handwriting paper. It will work just fine, or I will have the link so that you can get the one that I have that has the house. All right, so this is an uppercase letter B. Uppercase letters live upstairs and downstairs on the house. So we're going to make that number 1 upstairs and downstairs, and then we're going to blow a bubble upstairs and blow another bubble downstairs. So 1 and then 2 bubbles. This is the uppercase or the big letter B. Okay, so now that we know how to write the uppercase B, let's try to write the lowercase b. It's going to start off the same as the uppercase B. We're going to make a number 1. And then we're just going to kind of trace back up halfway and blow a bubble. So 1, and then there's 1 bubble downstairs this time. So let's try that on the handwriting house. Here's the number 1. It's upstairs and downstairs. Now we usually say the little letters stay downstairs only, but sometimes those little letters are teenager letters, and they can be upstairs and downstairs, just like this lowercase b. There's the number 1, and then the bubble is going to be downstairs. 1 bubble. 1 bubble downstairs. Make sure your bubble downstairs fills up the whole downstairs. 1, and then trace back up and over to blow your bubble. Let's talk about what the letter B sounds like, okay? The letter B sounds like this. B, b, b. Can you try? It sounds like we're popping bubbles. B, 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 b. So that's exactly what we're about to do for our game for today. I have some bubbles. I thought these were really cute. They look like a little car. I got these at Hobby Lobby, but I'm going to use them to blow and then to blow some bubbles. And I want you to tell me, what does letter B say? And you can say, buh, 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 as you try to pop them. Here they come. What does B say? Buh, 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 buh. Let's try it again. What does B say? Buh, 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 buh. Good. Buh, buh. Let's do it again. What does letter B say? Buh, 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 buh. That is so much fun. Let's do it one more time. What does letter B say? Well, that's going to be your clue today when we do our blending. I'm going to do like this. That's to help you remember that B says b, b, b. Okay, keep that in mind. And now let's see if we can remember what the vowels are. Will you help me? What are those vowels? The vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Good job. Those are the vowels. I'm going to give you a blue sticker for helping me remember those vowels. B is for blue. There it comes. That's for you. Okay, so now we're going to put the letter B with each of these vowels, and we're going to blend the two sounds together. You remember what A says. We already have done A yesterday. So A says, ah, like achoo. So let's blend these two sounds. B, ah, b, ah, ba, ba, ba. It sounds like we're a sheep. Ba, ba. Okay, let's do the letter B with E. Do you remember what E says? E kind of looks like an ear, and E says, eh, eh. What'd you say? Eh. Let's blend these two sounds together. B, eh, ba, ba. Let's do the next one. I sounds like like an icky, sticky lollipop. B, b, b. O sounds like you have a sore throat and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, say, ah. Let's blend. B, ah, ba, ba. The last one, the letter U, sounds like you've eaten too much and you have a tummy ache. Ugh. Let's blend these. B, ba, ba. Well, I want to do some reading today if you're ready for that. If not, then you can skip this part if you'd like to. I want this first one to say bat. So what letter says t, 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 like a ticking clock? That's the letter T. Good job. So let's try to read this word. Bat. Bat. Like a baseball bat. Let's read the next one. I want this to say bed. So what letter says d, 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 like when you knock on a door? That's the letter D. Now let's see if we can read this word. Bed. Bed. Bed, like when you go to bed at night. For the next one, I want this to say big. So what letter says g, 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 like you're drinking and gulping some water? G, g, g. That's the letter G. So let's read this word, okay? Big. Big. Big, like a big bulldozer. The next one I want to say fun. So what letter makes the sound n, 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 like no? That's the letter N. Now let's read this word. Bon. Bon. on, like a bonfire. The last one, I want this to say bud. So what letter again says d, 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 d? That's the letter D. Let's read this word, bud. Bud. Like a little bud, a flower outside. Now that it's spring, we're seeing lots of buds and flowers out at my house. Okay, so now you did such a good job reading these words. I want to see if you can read a whole book by yourself. We're going to be using these sight words to read our book. So we're going to go over these again today. Do you remember what this word is? I. Can you say I? Okay, what's this word? See. See. Do you remember this word? The. Good. Can you say the? All right, now let's read those again. I see the. That's what we're going to use for our story. And what you're going to see in the book is going to start with the letter B. So I'm going to show you the book. And if you want a copy of this book too, I'll put the link below so you can get it. All right, what I'd like for you to do is look right here. Do you see these little dots? I want you to move your finger every time you say a word to the next dot. So we're going to say I, and then we're going to move our finger and we're going to say see. Then we're going to move our finger to the next dot and say the. Let's try that together. You ready? Put your finger right on this dot. I see the, and what is this? It starts with a B. Button. Let's read this one again. I see the button. Okay, let's look down here and let's read this one. Put your finger here on the dot. I see the, what's this? Bee. Bzz. That's right. I see the bee. Now let's try this sentence. This says, I see the Band-Aid. I see the Band-Aid. Good job reading that book today for yourself. Well, now we're going to switch over and do some math together. And for math, we're going to be using a little bulldozer toy and some Cheerios. Do you like Cheerios? Actually, any kind of cereal will work for this activity. But it makes it a whole lot more fun if you do have a little bulldozer toy, because you can push around the Cheerios, or even a Hot Wheel car would be fine. All right, so here's my little bulldozer and I have my Cheerios ready. I'll put a link below so you can get this little math mat. I think it is super cute. Okay, so I'm going to move the bulldozer over and he's going to point to the number that we're working on. What number is the bulldozer pointing to? Number 1. So let's put 1 Cheerio right here. Okay, what number is this? 2. So let's count to 2. Will you help me count? 1, 2. Let's move the bulldozer down here. What number is the bulldozer pointing to? That's number 3. Let's count 3 Cheerios. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what number is this? 4. Let's count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. What number is this? That's the number 5. Let's count 5 Cheerios. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. All right, let's move our bulldozer to the next page and do some more counting with Cheerios. Okay, there we go. What number is this? That's number 6. Let's count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Okay, what number is this? It looks like a slide. That's the number 7. Good job. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's go down here and look at this number. It looks like a snowman. What number is it? That's number 8. Let's count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, what number is this one? It looks like a 6, but it's upside down. That's number 9. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's do 3 more. Let's move to the next page. There's my bulldozer. What number is this? It's a 1 and a 0. What is that? That's a 10. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What number is a 1 and a 1? What number is that? 11. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, last one. What is a 1 and a 2? What number is that? That is the number 12. So let's count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I was one short, so I made a new one. There it is, 12. There we go. Now we just need some milk for all that cereal. That looks really yummy to me. Well, what color was the bulldozer that we just used? Do you want to see it again? What color is it? It's yellow, and that's going to be our color for today, yellow. Do you remember how to spell yellow? We spell yellow like this. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Like the early morning sun when the day has just begun. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Well, we're not going to do shape practice just yet because in our story there are lots of shapes. Instead, we're going to go straight into our art project for today. We're going to be making a bulldozer, and all you need is a box and a toilet roll and some tape. So I'm using a Kleenex or a tissue box, but if you don't have a tissue box, you can also use any box in the cupboard. Like I almost used an oatmeal box. So look around and see what you can find. Let's make a bulldozer. Okay, so here are the supplies that we'll need: a box and a toilet roll and some tape. So first I took the toilet roll and I just cut it in half like this. Get a grown-up to help you because it's kind of hard to cut through the thick toilet roll. So next I'm going to take one of the sides of the toilet roll and I'm going to fold it like this into a triangle shape. Let me show you that again. So there's the toilet roll, half of it, and then I'm going to fold this part in and this part in. And then when I let it go, it kind of makes a triangle shape. And I'm going to tape that triangle so it stays in a triangle shape. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I've got my Kleenex box here,
And I'm just going to tape that triangle onto the box. You could also use glue, but I'm just using tape so that, let me put this triangle back on together. All right, there we go. I'm just using tape to just be a little bit faster. And I won't have to let the glue dry. Okay, so there we go. We've got our triangle on the box. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this part right on top of the triangle. Or tape. I'm just going to, again, tape mine. Okay, that makes his little scoop. So he already looks like a bulldozer. Beep, 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 beep. But I decided I wanted to decorate mine, and you can do that too if you'd like, or you don't have to. So I'm just taking some yellow paper, and I'm just gonna tape that right on the side. And then I cut out just a little window out of black paper and some little tire treads, some tires, and then I used a white crayon to make kind of the treads on the tire. So there you have it. That's our art project for today. We made a bulldozer. Okay, so here is our little bulldozer craft that we made. I think I'll use it today to help me clean up my markers. Beep, beep, beep. That was pretty fun. So now it's time for us to do some science together. For science today, we're going to see if we can make some strong sand. We're going to be using a toilet roll and some tissue paper. I'm just going to cover the toilet roll, one end of it, with the tissue paper. Also, actually a Kleenex will work for this too, but I'm just using this colorful tissue paper like you might use to wrap a present with. Okay, so now I want to see what you think will happen. I've got a stick here. Actually, it's a maraca, but I'm going to use it for my stick. I'm going to poke this stick inside, and what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that I'll be able to poke right through the tissue paper? Let's see what happens when we do this. Oh, it pushed right through. The tissue paper was not very strong at all, was it? But let me see if I can make it a little bit stronger. So I'm going to get rid of that one and start over. I have another piece of tissue paper. And I'm going to put the rubber band around it again. Okay, but this time I'm going to put some sand inside the toilet roll. I'm going to fill it almost all the way to the top. Okay, let me show you. It's almost to the top. I'm going to just bump it on the table a few times just to make that sand all settle down. 1, 2, 3. I was just bumping it down like that. Okay, now I'm going to take my stick again, and I'm going to poke it down in through the sand, and I'm going to see if I can poke a hole through this paper. Oh, I'm pushing as hard as I can, and it's not poking through. That's pretty cool, huh? Let's try it again. I wish you could try it too and see how hard I'm pushing and how hard it is to poke. It won't go through. So let me tell you why. That has to do with science. Well, before, when I didn't have the sand inside and I just had the paper, the force that I was using to push the stick was all going in one spot. So the force was just right there where the paper was, where the stick was poking through the paper. And so the force wasn't very spread out. But when I added in the sand, the force was spread all across the whole surface of the bottom of this tissue paper. So they were sharing the force of the push. Not only that, but the sand was sharing the force too. As I pushed down, the sand pushed out. So I was sharing the force out. The sand was pushing against the sides of the toilet roll, and also the surface across the tissue paper was sharing the force instead of just one point. And so that's why it made the tissue paper seem really strong. So let's try that again. I cannot push it through no matter how hard I push. So there are two main forces. We've talked about those before: push and pull towards you. And so we use the force of push. It was easy to push through when we didn't have the sand, but Then when we added in the sand, the force was spread across the whole tissue paper instead of just one point, and it was hard to push through. In fact, it was impossible to push through. We didn't get a hole in it at all. Well, I want to read a story to you. We didn't do our shape practice because I saved it for story time. The story has shapes in it, and I want to see if you can help me to know what the shapes are. The story is called Bulldozer Shapes by Sherri Duskey Rinker and Ethan Long. At a new construction site, Bulldozer revs up with delight. He sees the messy, rugged view. Woohoo! There's so much awesome work to do. Crane Truck will help to point the way. They'll get this site in shape today. Big Bulldozer starts to run and push right through to start the fun. Crane Truck goes high to check the view and see what dozers need to do. Crane Truck plans the job with care. Wait, Crane shouts, start over there. Bulldozer nods, he's off to play and carves a squiggle on the way. He gathers boulders, makes a stack, charging forward, gliding back. What shape did he make? A triangle, good. With great power, he rolls and wrangles those rocks into a tall triangle. Now what shape did he make? Circle. Then he moves great piles of ground into a circle nice and round. Go left now, calls out Crane Truck, but watch that hole or you'll get stuck. Bulldozer clears huge piles of sand and forms a diamond in the sand. He collects all kinds of rusty junk into one massive metal hunk, and soon all of the mangled tangle is set into a neat rectangle. Bulldozer moves 10 gravel hills with perfect skill, so nothing spills. He gathers piles near and far and makes one mound shaped like a star. He shifts down hard to push and scrape and makes a road, an oval shape. Crane Truck points, you're almost done. Bulldozer makes one last fast run. He moves away old trees and stumps and levels all the hills and humps. Now the site is flat and bare, a perfect smooth and giant square. Well, I enjoyed talking about the letter B today. This is the sign language for letter B, and I had fun making a bulldozer. I'll see you next time for our letter of the day. Goodbye.